Oh, say, can you see the light? What's a Shouldn't have turned down those cue cards.
Welcome back to United States of Australia. I am the Aussie guy. Welcome back for another week as we discuss a little bit more of the toe. And joining me, of course, as every week, is my good friend and your good friend, just Josh. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, Ozzy. Just trying to make sure my internet's completely scrubbed of any Diddy stuff I have on there.
Yeah, you'd want to at this point.
Never been happier to not be invited to a party.
Well, I've never been happier to never given the slightest fuck about Diddy. That's I mean, you know, obviously I enjoyed Biggie. You know, Biggie was great. And now I actually wonder, have you thought about the fact that maybe Diddy organized the death of Biggie because Biggie was fucking onto how much of a pervert he was. And Diddy fucking eliminated him.
They had to get rid of Biggie and Tupac. Bang.
Yeah. And speaking of Biggie, there ain't no bigger. Robbie the Mariner fan. How you doing?
Hi.
That was completely organic. I didn't expect to be talking about Biggie Smalls, and then it happened. And
it was like, a perfect throw.
You want a pat on the head?
I'd love one. Thanks. I'd appreciate it. We'll acknowledge a couple of people in the chat. Shout out Moody, Mahmood Hikmet. Thought I could stay up, but not going to make it. Have a good show, Mr. Who's-Its. Lovely callback to last week. Shout out Moody. He was on Dabble Point today and tried to teach everyone how to correctly pronounce Aussie guy. Americans like to say Aussie guy, but no, it is Aussie guy. Aussie guy. Imagine Ozzy Osbourne. Aussie guy. Anyway, I won't spend too much time on that. Nice to see people coming back. Daylar's here. We love Daylar. Shouting for Robbie. Daylar's been really good to the show, and we appreciate your help. We are going to make Daylar a mod, but I still don't know how to do that. Robbie, maybe you could look into that for me, considering you never do the just read the slightest little bit of prep that I ask you to read.
That's not true. I usually pretty prepared.
Well,
90% of the time he's ready. 60% of the time.
Yeah, start doing Steiner math. Anyway, I guess we should just roll in and get into
Aaron's boring, and April adds nothing. It's gonna be great. We're scripting this morning. Come on, it's time for Movie and the Scrimp. It's time for Movie and the Scrimp. It's gonna be mediocre as fuck. It's time for Movie and the Scrimp.
Yes, it is. And yeah, obviously last week we sort of did our show right on the back of right on the heels of my infamous confrontation with Aaron M. Holt. And so, yeah, we sort of watched the video a bit and I sort of explained my thoughts of what was going on at the time. But of course, Aaron hadn't been to air yet. And yeah, it sort of hadn't really, it had like a little bit of a pop at that stage, but it certainly did the rounds a little bit more. And a lot more shows covered it from, Blind Mike to WATP, obviously Patrick Melton, Nobody Likes Onions, Tukey, Rocco. It did the rounds, and it's been an interesting week, of course, for myself. I don't know about you guys, like what's probably been your biggest pop on Twitter in recent times, but I know my Twitter's been pretty dormant for a while. Not a super lot of action. Like, you get your handful of tweets, likes and retweets here and there, but my last week was I haven't seen the likes of that since probably back in Spats with Shats back in the day. But anyway, point being, received a lot of feedback over the week, and I'm someone that can address certain issues that, I can address fair criticism. So there's a couple of things I thought we should touch on, or I should touch on before we move on from this topic. First of all, got a little bit of criticism for the DM to Aaron that I sent post interview, whatever. And look, there's a few reasons I did that. I mean, reason number one, I could acknowledge the ambush aspect of it could be considered a shitty thing to do. So I'm happy to acknowledge that. That's fair criticism. I was happy to put my hand up for that. Secondly, I've played sports all my life, and you go at it, but then at the end of the game, you shake hands and say good game and blah, blah, blah. So I sort of had that mindset. And thirdly, I was kind of just looking at a broken man. You know what I mean? Like, and what's been continuing on this week does seem more and more like a broken man. And obviously, we're going to get to the court stuff at the end of it. But yeah, I just had a couple of clips that caught my eye. And I grabbed these clips off of WATP, so I didn't have to go back through other stuff. I was just listening to WATP. I was like, oh, I'll use that clip. So there's a little bit of Carl and producer Chris. There's a little bit of Carl and producer Chris in my clips today. But oh damn, I'm not ready on the right folder. Silly me. So we'll start with this. So this is just a short one. Just a couple of little things that I wanted to address that Aaron suggested about myself.
It's not even monetized. He does a show about me. He does a show about how much he hates me, and then he does a show about how much he hates Ricky Gervais. All
right, so nice short clip. A couple of things wrong there to address. First of all, this isn't our show. It's just, it's got a bit of attention because a lot of people like making fun of Aaron Himholt. And so when we started making fun of Aaron Himholt, we started getting more viewers. We're like, all right, we'll keep making fun of Aaron Himholt. But dude, this will go away eventually. And we do need to move on and need to prove ourselves. But for now, it's not. So for now it is. Yeah, it's heavy steel toe.
We may isn't aware of our 2 years of back catalog where we just talked about random shit with no direction.
Yeah,
so.
or audience. So
yeah, exactly.
So for sure, Aaron has definitely given us a bump, but it's certainly not our show. It is, a heavy part of our show, but also it's certainly not about how much we hate him. Like I'd almost say I love this man for how stupid and moronic his decision making is. It's just constant content, day after day, new content. So I disagree with that. Second of all, I absolutely do not do a show about how much I hate Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, I thought that I was going to be like, wait, what?
That's the opposite.
Is that out of the loop?
Yeah.
I thought it was that you liked Ricky Gervais.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Echo Pineapple and myself have launched a podcast called What's Your Randall? We're going back across the Ricky Gervais show from their XFM radio days, and then we'll move into their podcast days because we love that show so fucking much. And that show made us want to do podcasts and want to be, I've literally always say I've been searching for the last 15, 20 years, been searching for my Carl Pilkington. And I feel like I might have found him in Robbie. Like, obviously, in a different way. Robbie's not the same kind of, but you know what I mean? We all want that person that we can link up with that might be broadcast magic. So, yeah, we absolutely love the Ricky Gervais show, and that's what the show is about. So, you got a couple of things wrong there, Aaron. Wanted to address that. Now, let's get to this next one, and maybe it's a little bit of the crux of the show. I will explain, but Aaron got a little bit cocky and uppity about something that kind of.
And then all of those same people on Reddit, I kind of called them out for that. I'm like, you guys are all just going to whack yourselves off to this later. And like, I'm going to a beer.
Just to be clear, Aaron, I didn't have to whack myself off. The Dabbleverse has done it for me all week because of what I did to you, but let's continue.
Your Insider Festival, like, what are you getting out of this? And then he admits that his channel's not monetized. And I'm like, so you're doing this for, like, love of the game. I appreciate that.
Look at Aaron as being smug, like, and I make money doing this, and he doesn't.
It's the second time you mentioned that fucking festival, too.
I know. Who gives a shit about your cider
I
festival?
know. That's so sad.
Thank you for making me money and you none. I do appreciate that. But it's like, you're.
All right. So did you all hear that?
Yeah, I
Everyone
heard him.
hear that? Thanks for making me money and you none. So I had a little bit of think about this, and maybe I'm starting to think a little bit like Steel Toe, and that might be a problem. But I had this idea that I thought was a really, really good idea. I thought, wouldn't it really annoy Aaron if I actually made money this week from doing my podcast? You know what I mean? I think it would be like Aaron would turn it into a win for the toe. Like if I made a whole bunch of money today from my show, Aaron would turn it into a win for the toe. But nothing bothers Aaron more than money he thinks could have been his. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're following me here. So
You're
what
stealing money.
Yeah. So what I'm presenting to everybody here today. How about like, I don't want to set a goal, because what kind of a goal do you set? But if I was gonna be, extravagant, I would say a week's worth of Aaron's goals would be great. 1 week, 1 week's worth. So $2,500 it would seem is what my goal is. But whatever little bit you want to give. So there it is. There's the scroll. Do you want to drive Aaron Imholt insane? It's very simple. Just give me money. PayPal.me/sussy guy. Just imagine Aussie guy put an S
Oh,
where
Jesus.
the A should be. So that scroll is going to continue for the rest of the show. So let's do it, folks. Let's drive Aaron Imholt insane by just giving me money. And shoving it back in his face that I don't make money from this. So,
I feel like
come on,
Weed Man would be proud of you right now.
yeah, to be honest, I feel really, really gross. Like, this is gross to do, but at the same time, if you people are fucking dumb enough to fall for this and give me money, then let's do it. Oh, you know what? That actually reminds me. It's one of the criticisms I got this week. This one genuinely made me laugh out loud. Someone of the DM that I sent to Aaron, they said, you gave a win to the toe. I was like, wait, you mean the wins he creates in his head to make himself feel better? Like, do those they're bothering you? Does that bother you? That's it.
Like, I'll respect him for the first time ever if he ever ends up in jail, he can spin that into a win for the toe. Like, that would be legit.
No, didn't we cover him going to jail a week ago where he spun it into a win for the toe?
No, I mean, like, that was like, but
I think
he's
Robbie's talking like him doing hard time, maybe.
Actually, the Gray Bar Hotel situation.
Yeah, actually getting sentenced to something. Well, that's
like
interesting.
Where he couldn't do a podcast for a while, and he had to be like, "Well, this is a win for the toe that I'm losing income and not being online." And yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. I'm with
Not
you.
the 12-hour tour of what could have happened.
Yeah, well, let's move into that direction now. I think we've covered last week. I think everyone's moved on from last week. It's been covered to death. I had a great time. Thank you, everybody that subscribed, and we're nearly there to 500. A lot of people have been asking us about the monetization. We got, what have we got? 440 something, I think, subscribers, and
last I checked, it was like 444, but.
Yeah, okay. So, close to that 500, and our watch hours are just over 2,000. So we're on our way, and I appreciate everyone that's come over the last, and particularly the last week. This last week has been huge. It's been our fastest climbing week in the history of the show. So thank you very much to everybody that's come on board. But yeah, well, let's move on to the legal side of it. And Robbie, I always love to get your thoughts on the legal side, and maybe we go to the clip first, Robbie, as he describes the situation. This is the day after he'd been to court, so I believe this was, would have been scheduled to be an omnibus hearing, but I believe Aaron waived his right. But yeah, here we go.
week. I'm enjoying my week so far. Lorna O'Neill says, any update on
Whoa.
court yesterday? You had a day off yesterday.
What?
Is that choppy for you, Josh? Is that just on me? Is it...
No, it's choppy. Gremlins are in there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Great.
Yesterday.
What about now?
And I had a
No,
court-
that sounds
bad.
like garbage.
What?
It sounds bad.
Yeah, that
What?
sounds like garbage.
Shit.
Hopefully there's no ad on it. I can go find it.
Shit.
Josh, you I sent you a link earlier. Robbie refused to read it, but
Now you're taking your anger out on me.
I am, yes, because now I'm having to do this shit, and I don't have YouTube Premium, so there'll probably be ads when I fucking play the thing, and so that's embarrassing in itself. But anyway, Josh, you read through what I sent you. While I'm sorting this out, give us your thoughts so far on what's going on with Aaron's court situation.
Well, it sounded like reading what you sent me. He is not going to get a deal, or else a deal probably would have already been done. So from reading the things, it sounds like the evidence is very strong against him. They have a case, and maybe they're willing to put his feet to the coals on this one. Like, no second chance on this. I mean, he's already in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got previous legal things that are they're just tacking more stuff onto him.
No, exactly. And that's one of the things that I did talk about. Well, I forget how many weeks ago it was. Obviously, I assume it would have been just after he did his court appearance for breaking the HRO.
Right.
And,
exactly.
and I said at that point, like, this will haunt you in the future because, if he can't cut a deal, then you go to trial, and if you get found guilty and you go to sentencing, all this other shit comes into sentencing. Like what could be like for a first-time offender and all that, no priors, no nothing, you'd get a certain level, but because of everything you've done recently and how much you've run your mouth, that sentencing will probably be larger. But anyway, Robbie, I've
Can we try
got
this one
it
last
ready
time?
to go. Yeah, try it.
court hearing, I guess. At 8:40.
No.
It's still
Supposed
No. Remove it. Get rid of it. I've got it ready to go. Yeah, no. Good job today, Robbie.
You're good, Robbie. You're good, man.
All right, this is from Stalin19. Thank you, Stalin19, one of the legendary Clippers. And shout out all the Clippers. My Lost Interest, Doom, Thorough, Joe Burrow. Who else? TV's Will Heron.
All Clippers except the Los Angeles Clippers.
Yes. Real Media Player. Actually, Real Media Player, I've got something for you because you're good at this. Real Media Player clips like all the goal talk. I'm really interested to see how the goal talk would compare next to how much Johnny Crutches talks throughout an entire show. Like, I want to see, because I've never seen a whole show. I don't know if while they're doing stories, Johnny Crutches talks more or what. I've not heard a lot from Johnny Crutches on the Steel Team Morning Show. So I'd be really interested to see how the amount of time Johnny Crutches talks on the Steel Team Morning Show compares to how much time Aaron spends talking about the goal. It'll be very interesting to see. Anyway, this is Steel Toe. I feel like I might be a better lawyer than Nick Ricada, so it's gonna be great.
I don't know. I've had a good week. I'm enjoying my week so far. Lorna O'Neill says, any update on court yesterday? Yes, we had a day off yesterday. And I had a court appointment, a court hearing, I guess, at 8:45. It's supposed to be 8:30. I got there. I'm an early guy, so I got there plenty early. And then it just kind of moves back. But yeah, we got in there. I think it's all over the internet.
I love how he tells stories like as if he's telling it to a child that's never experienced anything in their life before. You know, like anytime you go for an appointment where it's any kind of thing like this, like whether it's court or a doctor's appointment or fucking whatever, yeah, you're gonna get there and it's never gonna be the time that your appointment was. It's gonna get pushed back. Like he's explaining this shit like we all haven't experienced this shit before in our life. It's annoying.
Internet, what happened? There's nothing I can't really address. We went in, we waived our omnibus hearing. There was nothing to be omnibussing about. Pled not guilty, and now in December we have a settlement hearing. Look, I knock wood. I don't want to jinx anything. I'm feeling good. I'm in good spirits. I don't have any animosity towards anyone. I mean, the prosecutor people are just doing their job, and judges doing their job, and everybody doing their job well. My attorney's fucking doing his job. I like the guy. So yeah.
I mean,
I like the
What are you gonna say? I don't like my fucking attorney. I need to do
what
it.
is this? What? You know, like I don't have any animosity. Well, you shouldn't have any animosity towards any of them. In fact, you should be trying to dial back the animosity right now because
The
the
only
animosity has
he
got
should
you.
have is for himself.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. Your animosity has got you in a lot of legal trouble, dude. So yeah, definitely wind that back. But I will say this lawyer is way better than the shitty, I assume what was just a divorce lawyer he was using before. This lawyer, and is one of the first people I think in the existence of the world, convinced this guy to shut the fuck up about a few things. So he clearly got some shit through his head because he finally stopped talking about April and Nick and Kayla and all
Other
that.
lawyers, when you get them to talk about divorce lawyers, it's quite funny. They don't seem to respect them like they do. Like, I think sometimes they respect the personal ambulance lawyer people more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know the different, like, why they feel that way. But, like, if you talk to, like, a regular court lawyer, I don't know. They just, the F-bombs and those motherfuckers start flying real quick.
Yeah, well, his previous lawyer didn't seem to understand the HRO and the terms of the HRO. So, yeah, that guy wasn't equipped for the situation. Anyway,
Look, everything yesterday went exactly. There were people. I saw Nick lost his mind and he didn't stream, and he said he was going to stream, and then he was shocked at the way my thing
play a clip.
When it's like, I'm starting to feel like I might be more of a lawyer than him because I knew a week in advance what was going to happen here.
Wait a minute.
It's your court case.
Yeah, you knew about your own case before Nick Recato? What the fuck?
Congrats.
That's fucking crazy.
Clairvoyant.
You'd make a great lawyer, Aaron. You're fully across your own case. Great lawyer.
I mean, I was aware of how this was going to go. I told anybody who would listen, they're like, you have a day off because you're going to be in court all day. I'm like, it's going to be like a 5-minute thing and we're going to be done. But, not talking about the specifics has been working out pretty well. And if you don't mind, I'm going to continue to do that.
Not talking about the specifics.
You've been
has
told
managed,
not to.
Yes, but also it's managed to not get him in further trouble. So he's like, oh, hang on. This seems to be working to not get me jammed up even more. You fucking moron.
Like I said, everything went great. Feeling good. These things are a long-ass process. A long-ass process. But, yesterday went well. I was happy with yesterday. In and out. Had a couple of nice conversations. And then on to the rest of my day, which included but was not limited to mowing the lawn, going to boxing, doing some grocery shopping for a 3-year-old's.
So this is what I was talking about earlier. Like, he is broken. He's broken. Like, this guy used to be a decent radio guy. Like 18 months ago, 2 years ago, you would have heard this guy and go, oh yeah, he's another radio guy. Like, he gets it. He's completely lost all of that. Like, that's all gone. He's talking about mowing the lawn and shit like that. Like, what do you mean? And honestly, I think quickly going back to last Saturday, the confrontation between him and I honestly think he was genuinely hurt by the fact that his show is getting criticized. Like when someone came to him to like challenge him to challenge him in a situation, it was like he expected for me to talk about the headbutting and the revenge porn and shit like that. But when I just said, "Hey man, it seems like you don't like your show anymore," that's when he hurt him
into like a tomato. His face did.
Yeah, like that hurt him. Like I think he knows his show sucks, and that's what bothered him the most. Is because he knows it, and now he realizes everyone knows it. I think that hurt him. So yeah, like this is just utter garbage. Like he doesn't know where he's going anymore. He is completely lost. I'm going to take a brief moment. I haven't. Robbie, have you been looking at the chat? Is there anything interesting going on?
Yeah,
because I can't see the chat with this video up.
This one makes my ego go through the roof.
Just Josh is a utility infielder. Aussie guy is a background backup catcher. Robbie, the Mariners fan, is the Ken Griffey Jr. as far as I am concerned.
Fucking Mariner propaganda.
Yeah. Look, hey, look, I love Robbie, and yeah, Robbie in theory is the star of this show, but I'm the person who's recently brought eyeballs. So let's go with me. Has there been anything else interesting, Robbie? Or chat does seem a bit slow for 50
a lot of
odd people.
Congratulations, highs. I haven't seen.
Well, you switched our time to Sunday, and then you threw us back on a Saturday.
The fact we have the viewers we have on a Saturday after switching is
holy shit. Holy shit!
Not to mention Tuki's coming up.
What?
Oh, I just got a PayPal. I honestly didn't think this would work, buddy.
Well, it's been going across the screen for fucking 15 minutes. You think you'd
I know. Good point, Ozzy. And highlighter green.
Right?
Sketty Tooth John, you are the absolute best. Enjoying your show. Love Sketty. $70, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn.
She is.
You already beat the goal.
Yeah.
I've already smashed the goal. I was like, Shmuel Buckman has donated $10 a couple of times.
Yeah, maybe
so
Aaron's onto something because it seems addicting to get money.
Yeah. Just overtly, just go for it. But yeah, no, Shmuel Buckman has been our top donator up until Sketty Tooth John. Sketty Tooth John is now the she pretty much owns the show now. Like she just bought the show.
Number one investor.
Yeah, exactly. So congratulations, Sketty Tooth. You now own United States of Australia. But
it's like that Green Bay Packers stock.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
We own the team.
Yeah. Anyone that PayPal's us money is owns the team. You just have no decision making power whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, Sketty is the best. Bless his heart. One of the great moments on NLO when Sketty Tooth called in after the Chad Zumug stand-up show. Sketty, you're the best. I appreciate it. That is so awesome. I've completely lost where we were at before that because I'm so excited to get such a nice donation. That's so great. Where were we, fellas?
Oh, I thought you were joking.
No, I'm not joking at all. Were we going back to the clip, or was somebody talking and I interrupted? That was more the point.
No, you were. Wow.
Well, it stopped the clip.
You had asked if anything in the chat was going on, and then you saw.
No, just in terms of when I interrupted with the PayPal, I wasn't sure if I'd interrupted somebody that was making a point. But if you guys don't remember,
I don't think so.
Maybe you're just as excited as me, and you've forgotten what you were talking about.
You are probably.
Yeah, I'm stunned. I'm stunned by this.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, Sketty. You're the best.
His birthday party this weekend. The usual shit. But yeah, I feel pretty good. I mean, what I can say. I walk around all day, rarely thinking about it.
Such a weird phrasing, right? I walk around all day, rarely thinking about it. I don't know. It just, yeah.
He makes it sound like that's all. That's all he's thinking about is what he's doing.
Yeah, the way he words that. Yeah, say that
I
again,
didn't
Josh.
I said well, it makes it sound like he's thinking about it all day is what he's doing. Not
Yeah.
Well,
not rarely. It's on my brain.
100%. The way you say that, I'm walking around all day, rarely thinking about
Rarely
it.
thinking about it.
That kind of means you're walking around all day thinking about it all the time, and that's, it's this weird thing where he just can't concede an L, quote unquote, anywhere. And like, it's such a bizarre behavior. Like, I honestly do think at this point it's a serious mental illness or even a fucking nervous breakdown. Like, there's so much shit going on for him right now. Like, I would not be surprised if he is in the midst of a nervous breakdown because this behavior is so bizarre.
He could easily break down at any point with all of his shit.
Let's continue.
When I do think about it, I feel how do I don't want to say good. That's weird to say you feel good, but I guess to quote Teddy KGB, I feel okay. So again, consider this my knock wood. Everything's fine. I have no animosity or anything like that. So
He has no idea what's going on.
Usually when you go knock on wood, that's like that's like a please work out. I don't think this is going to work out at all.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
No, 100%. You're right. Yeah, the knock on wood is, I hope this lawyer's good. I hope this lawyer's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Can get me out of this or whatever. It's just such a bizarre way to be reacting to this. Like, of course, dude. Of course, when you think about this, it's gonna be a gut churn. It's gonna be, fuck, I might end up in jail for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever. Like, that should be tying you up in knots. Stop trying to put up this facade, this mask. Like, you're not fooling anybody. We can all see you fucking melting down. Anyone else got any thoughts before I play?
Maybe 90 days is the best thing for him. Get a head
It could
check,
be.
He wouldn't have any of that shit. He would have no shows for 90 days.
Well, and that's a good point. Like, I mean, I know they get internet access and, a certain amount a day or whatever. I don't know what they get access to, but he wouldn't have to hear the comments from the haters. And he'd just have to sit there and think about, what have I become? Like, I've lost what I was as a broadcaster. Like, there's no doubt he was a much better broadcaster than he is now. And yeah, you're right, Josh. Maybe he does just need to sit in a cell for fucking 90 days and figure it out. You got anything, Robbie, or press play?
I don't know. He seems like a guy that wouldn't do well in jail.
That's probably true.
He might come out even more broken than when he went in. So
it's a possibility. It's a possibility.
That's true, Robbie. That's a great point.
I just want the whole thing to, everyone to do their jobs. The process plays out. There was one thing that I received via email that I guess I can touch on real quick. There was a nice moment yesterday where the judge mentioned how there are no electronic or recording devices allowed in any of our hearings. And the reason for that was that somebody, and I helped.
Now, all right, before this continue, I just want to point out, he said at the start of that, something nice. Now listen to this and tell me what's nice about it.
I helped the prosecution and the judge with this, and my attorney helped them out with this. The judge had learned that somebody had streamed my initial hearing, and that's illegal. You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to do that. You can be found in contempt of court. And both my attorney and the prosecution know that these were people who hate me, who don't like me, who are also associated with somebody else. They are aware of that. What action they can take, I don't know, because one of these people is, I believe, not in the country. So I don't know if there's really anything they can do, but
all right, I love that. Yeah, I was about to pause there, Robbie, and that reaction is perfect. If you're not up to date with this and you just tune in to Steel Toe and you get that explanation, what the fuck would be going on? You would have no idea what's going on. Damn it! I lost my other thought.
Well,
Damn it!
how can they? So he's saying someone in court was streaming it. How could you do that if you're out of the country?
No.
Like, are they flying? I'm confused.
No, so yeah, I'll explain it to you. I'll explain what happened because he can't say Nick Recader, and well, I think he can say Nick Recader, but his lawyers told him to don't.
It's
talk
best
about
not
it.
to.
Yeah. So what happened was so when he got arrested, his bail hearing was a Zoom bail hearing from his fucking, from the room in the jail. So it was streamed online. So Ethan Ralph got the login to it and live streamed it on the Kill Stream, his show. So yeah, that's contempt of court, blah blah blah. So Ethan Ralph was doing it because he's buddies with Nick Recader and all of that garbage. But so yeah, that's what he's saying. Like he's friends with another person, and it's like either say all the names or don't tell the fucking story. Like this is ridiculous. Saying there's another person and this person, but that person that did it with him, and then this other person came in, and it's just all convoluted bullshit. Anyway,
Judge did not seem pleased that a certain somebody who's connected with a certain somebody else violated her courtroom, so to speak. So we're not, so no recording device or I had to run out to the parking lot and put my phone away.
I'll tell you something, buddy. Judge's not impressed with you either because you're the reason these people are live streaming it. You fucking idiot.
Yeah, usually they don't like it when a shithead, what's the word I'm looking for? Defendant is causing all these extra issues for a judge that they rarely have to deal with. So
yeah, and we'll also not that he live streamed it, but he certainly has played his ex-wife's court hearing when she had her court hearing. So yeah, he picks and chooses what's morally correct, morally right, and all that shit. But yeah,
I thought there would be a little place for me to put my phone. No, I just had to run out and put it in the car, and then we got down to business. And like I said, I wish I had more to tell you. It was not a very exciting thing. It was in and out.
Yes, Aaron, that's why it's not a story to tell and drag out for, what are we, nearly up to 6 minutes? Like, yes,
feels like 20.
Yeah, it is a very much an in and out process. Like you literally could have sat down and said, yeah, I waived my right to an omnibus hearing. We've got a date scheduled for 11th of December that it's a settlement hearing, and nothing's really going to happen until then. That's it. Story over. Like there is actually nothing else to it. That is all that happened. But he's still going.
Off to work we go. Red Fox Mad with $4.99 says, "Good morning, Aaron. Good morning. How is Aaron this beautiful morning? Go Vikings. I'm doing very well. I don't want to
I don't want the judge to see me being overly cocky about this. So I'm trying to think of the words so that I don't sound like an arrogant douchebag.
I know there was somebody who got their hopes way, way up and then got their hopes dashed and all that. Nothing I can do about that.
Still sounded like an arrogant douchebag.
I can only tell people what's up, what's going on, what to expect. And if they get their hopes up about that, like I would tell people to stop making your expectation that I'm going to be executed. Because I don't think I don't think I'm going to be beheaded.
See, this is the thing with all the fucking lolcows, all the top lolcows, is this ridiculous behavior. Nobody thinks you're going to be executed or thinks you should be executed, moron. Like
no one's hoping for it.
No one's hoping for it. None of it. I actually, in all honesty, for sending one nude picture to a friend, I don't think that deserves jail time. But it's because it's this dickhead, and he's brought it all on himself, and he's talked himself into bullshit. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, give him some jail time. He fucking deserves it. But like, yeah, it's crazy that he goes to these extremes. It's like he talks about, you all want me to kill myself. It's like,
Nobody
No,
wants
I
you
mean-
to kill yourself.
No, it would be very, very funny. Like it would be. But especially after you called me a bitch, so many times last week. If you then went and deleted your profile, yeah, that would be very, very funny to me. But no, in all seriousness, nobody wants any of that. Nobody wants you to be executed. They just want you to tell the truth and show some like realness. Like be genuine for a change and go, you know what? Yeah, this is pretty stressful. This is stressful, guys. Can you imagine if he just came out and said, this is fucking stressful and I'm sorry I'm flying off the handle all the time? But he just can't. It's got to be a win for the toe. What's up, Robbie?
Oh, can't even hear him.
Have you knocked your mic out or something?
It would be nice if Aaron just would admit to say, I brought most of this self upon myself. I've done this to myself.
Can't hear you, Robbie. See your mouth moving, nothing happening, Robbie. Sorry to tell you.
Your lips are moving, but I can't hear what you're saying.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
so my computer is giving me these critical error warning, and then it's like the screen is going black and then back on. So if it crashes completely, just assume I'm out for the show. My computer's been acting weird all day, so.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Did you have any thoughts on this, or was it just that you were talking about?
I was just trying to make sure my computer wasn't going to explode. Sorry.
That's fine.
Hey, when the
It's all
toe
good.
crumbles, all he needs is a Best Buy patch on that shirt. He's got himself a job.
Yeah.
That's a good point. It does look like the Geek Squad shirts.
It does, right?
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people, I think Tukey, Rocco says, car salesman, used car salesman or whatever. I think that makes a lot of sense. He's talked about getting voiceover work, which I think that's perfect for him, to be totally honest. Like, he does have the voice for it. And if someone just gives him a script and says, read this a few times, that probably is perfect for him. So, yeah, go do that, Aaron.
So don't yell at me and blame me and seethe at me when something you made up in your head didn't happen, when I told you that thing probably wasn't going to happen. I'm just sitting here doing.
I'm always talking about the projection. Like, don't see that me when something that you made up in your head didn't happen. Like, he constantly gets mad or like stressed out and freaked out that he hasn't hit this arbitrary goal that he made up in his head. You know what I mean? Like every single day, pushing people for it. So, yeah. Also, some of his Robbie's gone. Maybe his computer did crash. Well, that's a shame. He's come back as FML. Fuck my life.
I'm on my phone, so you guys are like this big, so.
Oh, I'm on the phone, right.
You're like this big.
Now I've lost my tab, Robbie. Thanks. 'cause I had to
I'm sorry.
It's fine. All right. Anyway, I forgot my point. I'll move on.
Doing life, I'm just sitting here doing life.
I'm white, I'm white.
That's it. So let's move on from that. Again, good day yesterday. Very happy. No reason to go any further than that.
Oh, the ad was at the end. The ad was at the end. $24.95 boneless dinner. Now that's Australian dollars, folks. So
I was gonna say that's like
you ain't getting no fucking deal like that here.
Yeah, chicken is skyrocketed. So I was on. This is hand up. I was on DoorDash last night and I was looking at prices. 4 chicken nuggets at a McDonald's right now with no drink, no nothing, or else is like $6 in my area. Just 4 of them. I remember a year ago you could get 20 for like $4.
You can still get a 20 piece for like $5.99, I think. Or
here? No, your
Ohio.
It was like 4 for $6.
Jesus.
I love that Robbie was all over the chicken stuff. The
of course
the CB experiment. This is an awesome show. I love the puke green color scheme. It's aesthetically pleasing in the worst way. Also, the audio sounds like a person trapped in a gay man's butthole. I love it. Thank you for the CB experiment. Look, we run on a shoestring budget, and by that I mean we have no budget. We got $70 now.
Yeah, you can talk to our owner now.
Yeah, but if you donate money, our
Tooth.
budget will become shoestring, so maybe the audio will get better.
Yeah, but no, talk to Sketty too. She's funding the show now.
I think it's
that was
probably
funny to me.
because my audio sucked because of the computer and the mic. I don't know what was going on. I'll have to fix it.
It'll be good. Yeah, and like just read the prep that I give you before the show. and-
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah.
Some chicken nuggets.
Now, Robbie, no, you've got a good legal mind. So, you know, your old man's a lawyer, correct?
What?
It's been your old man's a lawyer, isn't
Yeah,
he? Correct. Yeah, and he's been in the game for many, for many decades. I wanted to get your thoughts on it. So, Patrick Melton has talked about the fact that, look, a lot of lawyers are saying it's kind of down to the fact that the state is kind of like, no, we've got solid evidence, we got a good case. We're not going to budge on this deal, and it does seem like it's kind of down to whether Aaron accepts jail time or a felony charge. I was kind of interested to see what your thoughts were on that side of things, Robbie.
That's weird because like doesn't usually the felony come with jail time? So that's I don't know because like I'm not going to say I'm a lawyer or anything, so that's a weird one. Usually the state likes to settle things in most states. I don't know about Minnesota, but usually if they think but there's certain issues that are like hot topic issues where they won't budge. Then other ones where you think, oh, they'll never settle this, and then they settle like a crazy case for like no jail time when you're thinking the guy's going to get 20 years or something. So I know revenge porn is always in the news, and no one wants that a headline to come out in the local news. Local DA gives revenge porn like a break or something like that. So I could see that's why he's not getting much of a plea deal. Because as much as justice is supposed to be blind in our country, it's very much what the DA thinks could blow back on them usually, or what they could get kudos or vice versa. So if the state doesn't want to budge, and it sure sounds like they have all the evidence, he's kind of in a rock and a hard place. So I know.
Yeah, well, I think. I think basically what Melton was saying, and he said he talked to multiple lawyers. Now, you take what Melton says with a grain of salt, because you know what I mean. Melton will play things up for effect on his show, but he said multiple lawyers said basically the state would be looking to, if you don't want a felony on your record, you're going to have to do some jail time. If you want to avoid jail, you're going to have a felony on your record. That's kind of like the way they're going. Does that sound like a thing to you, Robbie? Or
I'll ask my dad to get back to you, but that sounds weird because like usually if you go to jail for something that's a felony level thing, wouldn't you then be a felon? Like I don't understand.
Yeah, well, because the gross misdemeanor does have jail time.
Oh, I didn't know he's charged with the misdemeanor.
Yeah. So it's a felony and a gross misdemeanor.
So what I would like to know,
I should have told you.
Every state's different.
Or you could have
what
read
would be the downside of being a felon compared to doing jail time? Like, because there has to be a trade-off. Like, what would that hinder him in the future? Like, obviously, if you're a felon, it's harder to get a job. But if he's just planning on doing this, where he does a daily show, where he doesn't have to get employed by somebody else, you would think maybe if this is true that maybe the felon route would be the way to go, but I don't know if there's other things, like annoying things he'd have to deal with in the future. But
if you're a gun enthusiast, you don't want a felony.
Oh yeah, that's true. If he's in the, but if you go to,
I don't think he is. Although he does have a gun sponsor.
Yeah, you're right. If if he owns any guns, he'd have to give them away. So
now, if he is just going to continue to beg on the internet, then maybe the felony wouldn't bother him. I don't know. Yeah. Citizen M's made a couple of good comments here. Shout out Citizen M. One of the really good, like, he's more than a clipper. Like, there's a lot of clippers out there, but what Citizen M puts together, they're almost documentaries. You know what I mean? Like, there's no voiceover to it, but he adds his text and his sound clips and all that. Citizen M puts together some gems. He's done some awesome stuff on Aaron Imholt and the Ricaders and stuff. Anyway, he says, I know that Aaron was freaking out, texting confidants about jail time in the days leading up to his August 20th court date. So that's interesting. He's certainly been told. This was the other one. Citizen M just saying Melton will play things up for his show. Whoa, simmer down. Yeah, yeah, of course. Melton does I go a bit over the top sometimes, but let's see what Horatio has to say here. The felony takes rights away and makes your life hard, but I still think he'd choose that over jail. Yeah, look, jail's I don't know the
30
difference
days
between
in jail.
jail and.
If you've never been in jail and you're not familiar with it, because I haven't been, but I've heard enough stories from people that have. Like, he's like, oh, 30 days, that's nothing. That's a long, I mean, that's a month in, like, the worst. I would curious if you'd go to prison or jail. So I've heard from some people that jail's worse than prison, so I don't know which would be better or which would be worse. But yeah, 30, and then think of that, that's 30 days with no income, 30 days where he's like detached from the grid, so he would miss whatever's going on. So you think maybe if this is true, the felon, the trade-off, that would be the felon would be the way to go, because 30 days without income when he's pretty much, I mean,
He's not missing 30 days worth of goals, man. I totally agree. He will try to avoid jail time at all costs.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not like he'd have a salary job or something where he could just, if he had a nice boss, they would still pay him while he's in jail. No, that's like 30 days where he's taking zeros, and then he'd have to like quadruple his goal once he gets back to get back on solid financial footing. So
yeah, and look, Melton's got the theory that he knows he's going to jail, and like that's why he's been acting the way he has. The last
you mean
week,
like the hardcore telethon stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Like he's been full on. Like the other day, he went for like 4 straight goals, like in the same day, and all that. And
that
he's
makes sense.
The way he was playing it up. I saw he missed a goal this week. So yeah, things aren't looking good for the Tub.
So that's what happened. He missed that goal, and then apparently the next day they hit the morning goal, made up that goal, and then hit a couple more goals after that as well. And because he just didn't let it
live.
So he does. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, he does 2 a day, morning and night. Thursday, Friday, they're just mornings, and then Sunday is his members only stream.
Like the jacket.
Yeah.
How many members only people does he have? That's what I want to know.
I'm not sure of his members' numbers. Yeah, I've got no clue what his members are.
I mean, and I wonder how many of those actually hate watch, because I just can't. The one thing that from the beginning, because I didn't know anything about this guy till we started covering him with this podcast. Like, how can you be a fan of his? Like, I don't understand. Like, I get if you liked him years ago and you're like, you're going to defend him no matter what type situation because you feel like an emotional attachment to him. But, like, how can you actually like his show? Is what I just can't get that through my head.
You would have to been with him since his start in radio.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
no, 100%. That is the actual genuine supporters are the people that are hanging on from the radio days. And again, I will be fair. So he popped his head into the Dabbleverse about 2 years ago and got in on the Stuttering John thing. And so that's when I heard about him. And I tuned into a couple of shows and I'm like, yeah, it's another morning style radio show, but that's not what I'm into anymore. I've moved on to podcasts. This isn't a podcast. This is your sort of your old fashioned radio show. And so I was like, I can understand why people like it, but I don't like this guy. I don't like this show. And then Milton came along and Milton started making fun of him and analyzing and shit. And I'm like, fucking Milton's great. This is fucking awesome. And the spiral down over the last year and a half, and particularly the last 6 months, of course. But you just slowly started to dip over that first 12 months. And then over the last 6 months has just been insane. The amount it's just fucking exploded. But he's lost who he is. He's a lost boy right now, because he doesn't even know how to get back to what he was as a broadcaster. Like, I honestly think he's almost a robot. Like, in the Simpsons, when they're going to replace the jocks with a computer, and it's like, you hear about these clowns in Congress? What a bunch of clowns, And the guy's like, how does he keep up with the news like that? Anyway, my point being is, I kind of think Aaron is like that kind of robot, and right now he's glitched. And all he's got is the goal, and it's just he's got to glitch back to the goal. And I don't think he could go back to radio right now because he wouldn't be able to stop himself from going 300 away. Come on, PayPal, Venmo,
Venmo.
yeah, like I just don't think he can break himself out of that. So yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, to see where he goes from here. There's been a few more interesting comments. I'm just gonna scroll back up here. Why is that not working? Do I have to move it like that? Gee, Willy Willikers. Sketty Tooth. I'm just gonna pretty much bring up any Sketty Tooth chat I see because I love her right now. I think Aaron is too proud to have a felony on his record, and April
That's
not
good.
have one. against Australia. He desperately wants April to have one. Yeah, I did really want to get that question out to him. I was like, what did April do to you to make you think she deserves to go to jail? Because it's insane. Like, one of the things about being married is a little thing called spousal privilege. So when the cops came to him, he could have said, I'm not testifying against my wife. I'm not saying anything against my wife. And that's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? Like, you can do that. That's perfectly legal and fine. So he chose that not only to decide that he wasn't going to do that, he was like, I'm going to actively help them take her down. So
I'm going to fucking torture.
Yeah.
Torch
yeah.
We know what you meant.
And look, I think April is a dumb bitch for sure. Like, she's definitely a dumb bitch. But she's also young and she can get older and learn. But yeah, I think what she's done since all this happened in terms of shutting the fuck up, staying quiet, like she's done the absolute best that she can for herself, and does seem like she's clean and turning things around. She does look a lot healthier. So look, yeah, I hope she's turning it around and moving on, but obviously she is still hanging with the Ricators, and who knows what that situation is. But yeah, him just deciding, fuck you, you need to go down. That is like really bizarre to me. It seems he's a very vindictive, strange person.
If you put the toe hat on, I guess he could be like, this is all, he seems like the guy that blamed everyone but himself. So he could be like, this is all April's fault. If I'm going down, then she deserves to go down too.
She's coming with me.
Yeah, so I could see that where he doesn't want to piggyback off the commenter's point. Like, nothing would be worse than for him to get jail time or something like that, or to be a felon and her not to get some reciprocal punishment that's equal to his. So,
but the craziest thing about it, like, Aaron is in all of this trouble because he was running his mouth.
I know, but he's having a mental breakdown probably. So it's not making logical sense.
He wouldn't have any legal trouble if he wasn't running his mouth.
No, I know, but he doesn't seem.
Let me finish, please. April and Nick and that are in legal trouble because he wouldn't stop running his mouth. My point is they're going down because of him running his mouth, and now, like, it's flipping back on him where you running your mouth is actually coming back on you. I really do hope. I assume they're all going to cut deals. There won't be any jail time for the Ricators or April. If April goes to jail, that's disgraceful. Like, it really is. She does not deserve jail time. She was doing coke with them and shit, but get fucked. She does not deserve to go to jail. But I think the Ricators avoid jail as well. They'll if the warrant doesn't get thrown out and they get off clean, they'll cut a deal to where there's no jail time. They'll have some probation and all that. I'm sure of it. But yeah, I think Aaron's in some trouble. I think he's definitely gonna see some days in jail now. I'm pretty convinced of that after seeing what's happened this week. That he's gonna spend at least.
You say 30?
Yeah, I'd say 30 is the number at the moment. Given this HRO violation and all that.
The way the court system works or not in Oregon, but in this country anymore in most states, I just assume until somebody's in jail, they're going to not be in jail. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, Josh, like, it's hard when people are like, oh, he's looking at hardcore jail time. And the next thing you know, you got a plea deal and you know what I mean? It's like, I just assume until they put the bars in front of them, that everyone's just going to cut some sweetheart plea deal. And you'd think Minnesota would be a state where they do that. But like I was saying earlier, revenge porn's kind of a touchy
Well-
subject right now. So
I think this goes back. I think it's deeper than that. I think his brazen behavior, like when it came to the HRO, violating it so brazenly, and then being so cavalier about the whole system and being like, "Yeah, I'm going to go in there and get a slap on the wrist." Like, word travels.
true.
Word travels, and these judges and prosecutors and that are like, "Oh, really? You're going to be that
Yeah.
cocky about it?" Well,
Because the
this time-
only people that have a bigger ego than prosecutors are judges, so they don't like having their intelligence insulted. So
Yes.
that's true.
And Aaron's
so-
thinking they have a hard on for the steel toe, but they don't.
Well, yeah, but the way he talks, he thinks he's like, oh, I know so much more than these jabronis. So yeah, that's not a good way to approach judges and prosecutors.
Yeah. No, for sure. The CB experiment. Aaron is going to violate his probation, so he will
That's
go
a
to
good
jail
point.
and become a good point. Yeah,
The double.
Yeah. Sketty Tooth, we love you. 30 days is a long time. It fucking is, especially if you're in jail. But yeah, I mean, like going 30 minutes without your phone can be tough sometimes. So,
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? 30 days in
Like, it's
jail.
one thing to not look at your phone for 30 minutes, but have you ever like known your phone's dead and you can't charge it for 30 minutes?
Yeah.
That feels like 4 fucking hours.
A
So I
couple of
can't
months-
imagine that for 30
a couple of
days.
months ago, my mum came to pick up my daughter and I because I was getting my car service or whatever, and I'd put my phone on the roof of the car, and then put my daughter in the car, all of that, and then forgot to grab my phone. And so we're driving along, and I'm tapping my pockets, and I'm looking around, and I couldn't find my phone. I was like, I think I left it on the roof, and I said, "Fuck." So anyway, we went and I dropped. Like my mum and my daughter got out, and I drove all the way back to where we were and started looking around. I found the phone. But anyway, point being that 25, 30 minutes being like, fuck. If this phone's fucked, what am I going to do? Like, your phone's your whole life these days. Like, everything.
You're like, it's totally unlocked and they could get everything.
But guess what? I found it face down on a curb right next to a giant puddle. And so it had bounced off, just missed the puddle, landed on the curb, and not a scratch or a crack or anything. So,
That's like I don't know. That's
Commercial. It's a commercial
seems-
ad.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
there was a guy walking his dog past as I found it. And like I was so excited, I just looked up and I held it to him. I said, "You wouldn't fucking believe it."
He probably thought you were insane if you did something like that.
No, he looked at me and he goes, "Go buy a lotto ticket, mate." I said, "No, I think that's my luck for the day. I think that's my luck for the day. I think it's over." You know, that was my getting away
Yeah, I've
with
never
one.
understood.
It could only been better if his phone was still on top of the car.
That
Yeah,
raises
yeah.
a good point. I've never understood that saying. Like my dad one time, one of his clients had a warrant, but they had too many people in jail, so they just got rid of the warrant. So he showed up in court thinking he's going to jail for 30 days, but he didn't. So he told his client, "Go buy a lottery ticket. You're the luckiest man alive." Like, wouldn't that use up all your fucking luck?
Yeah.
Look, I've
That's
always
the
been
way I
one to
see
think
it, yeah.
luck is like it's like a video game. Once you have to refill it. It's not like it just goes on forever. So like, that's just a weird saying to me.
Well, there is the old, very profound saying: "Is luck is when opportunity meets preparation."
Yeah, that's one
So,
of my favorite sayings.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
Horatio
true, but I tell myself that and hoping it's true.
No, but it's a lovely saying though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Horatio McAllister. Aaron sees everything as wins and losses, so I think he'd see jail as a bigger L. Plus, he's a coward. That is true. Yeah, look, it's that's the beauty of it, isn't it? We can debate it. Like, what would you rather? And I tend to agree. Like, I think it's you don't want the felony on your record, especially like
30
if you're
days,
someone
yeah.
like. If you're someone like myself who every now and then will take a job in the mining industry to make some, some quick bank, a
Yeah.
felony on your record rules that out. You can't do that anymore. But
Mhm.
that's not who Aaron is. So yeah, I guess it depends on each person. And
Yeah.
if he is just going to keep fucking begging for money on the internet, then I
That
guess
does
we
help
get-
him. He's kind of lucky, unfortunately, in that way.
yeah.
That's not a
see.
circumstance like 99% of the people in America have, where they can be like, "Yeah, I'd rather be a felon."
Yeah. Aaron would come. Who's this? Sorry, Stephen. God damn. I don't have my big screen. I'm just going off the laptop
Yeah,
screen. My big
no,
screen's
that's
not working.
quite the mental image that I just conjured up with that, and that's horrifying.
How the fuck do you pronounce that?
I'm gonna say
Stephen
Weishot.
Weishot? Weishot?
I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah. Aaron would come out of jail wearing lipstick and a spring dress. I agree.
The P
I know
could
this
be
is
silent
skitty,
in
so I'm
that
going to bring
name,
it up.
but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's true. Somehow Aaron will turn jail time. Oh, yeah, of course. Turn jail time
He'll be
into
like,
a win.
"Look at me! I survived 30 days. I'm a hardcore motherfucker."
Yeah,
Oh,
it's all a win
God.
for the play. All a win.
You want to
for the
see my tattoo? You want to see it?
the CB experiment. 30 days in jail is much better than 2 years of
That depends how much you like drugs. No offense. I'm not judging anyone. I'm just saying if you have like one of those probation officers, it's like if I pop you for even marijuana, you're going back to jail. Then that, yeah, I could see that. But like me, somebody who's never had any interactions with the law enforcement, I'd much rather have 2 years of probation than 30 days in jail.
Citizen M says, I'm a genuine fan, but there are quite a few just hate watching. I assume you're talking about Steel Toe, man. You might be talking about me, but or us here. But are you a genuine fan, Citizen M? What do you like about
Well, I'm just
Deontay?
I have to say, for that's an open-minded person. If they watch us and they watch Aaron, and they don't,
Citizen M is broken as well. He's fucked. He's mentally fucked.
Jeez.
No, in the best possible way. Like he's creative and brilliant, but no, Red Bar broke him. So no, I kid. I don't know what Citizen M's game is, but the stuff he produces is entertaining. So yeah, Matt Wilson with the radio show. Get my go reference. Shades Cal. I just saw my name reference here, so I better bring it up. I think we all go through ebbs and flows. Aaron doesn't enrage me right now. His silliness makes me laugh. My name wasn't in there actually, so I don't know what I thought. Was that?
I will say he does make me laugh too, but he also makes me irritated.
Look, yeah. You know what's funny actually, because a lot of people said to me about the DM, they're like, "Oh, he didn't deserve any explanation. Like, you didn't need to do
I
that."
don't think he needed to apologize, and I agree with that.
I didn't apologize. So that's one thing I want to make
kind
clear.
of came off as for Aaron.
No.
I could see him thinking that was an apology.
Well, of course he's gonna spin it like that, but
Yeah.
No, all I said was I can understand you thought that was pretty shitty, but this is why I did it. You know what I mean? I did not say I'm sorry or anything like that.
No, I know,
but
I think some people thought that came across to them as an apology.
Yeah, no, some people mistakenly thought it was an apology, but
Yeah.
regardless, people said to me, like he was a dick to you, like, like fuck him, bro. And that's the funny part about it. And I said this to, I think, Blind Mike, like that didn't register in my head because to me, like, he wasn't mad at me. He's mad at the internet. You know what I mean?
He's
like,
mad at everyone.
When you listen to him, he's like, you're just another fucking amalgamation of message boards, and you're just a Reddit this and a Reddit that. I was just the avatar for the internet in front of him that day. He wasn't mad at me. He wasn't attacking me. Like, at no stage did I think any of that was fucking directed at me. It was just his own fucking anger built up. Well, it's been quite a few comments since I scrolled up.
you were just the rat fuck piece of shit of the day for that day.
I will admit that was a pretty funny line.
Dean didn't ask any hard questions. Those were fair. They were. And you know what? Actually, that's the other part about it is Aaron could have been out of that. Aaron could have got himself out of that within 5 minutes, and it would have never been a thing. I
don't know.
The way.
Sorry.
So yeah, he could have easily just said, "Hey man, look," like he could have done it in a more, I guess, polite way, to where he's like, "Hey man, nah, I don't want to be interviewed today. I got a lot of shit going on. I don't want to answer questions. I came on to talk boxing." He would have completely shut me down because that would have forced me to be a complete douchebag, which I wasn't going to do. But it was just the fact that he got so angry about it and then called me a scumbag. It's like, well, You gonna open that door for me? You gonna open the scumbag door? Okay, like let's talk about scumbags and then calling me a rat fuck piece of shit. Oh, rat, you're gonna call me a rat? Oh, you've opened another door. You know what I mean? He could have got out of that so easily, and I just think it's broadcasting 101. Like those questions I was asking and follow-up questions. It was so basic. And for everyone also that thinks I asked 3 questions, I didn't. I asked 2 questions because I never he cut me off while I was trying to ask the second question, and the quote unquote third question was the second question. I just never got to the question. He cut me off. But anyway, point being, like that, it's very basic stuff, and Aaron should know that. 20 years of broadcasting, or 15 years of broadcasting, whatever it's been, he should know that. Like, he should know this is how you like. And I'm not saying I'm a great interviewer. I'm just saying this is basic. This is basic stuff when it comes to interviewing. You get a vague answer. You ask a follow-up to try and, get some fucking clarity out of it, whatever. So, yeah, I said I was done with talking about last week, but I guess a few more things. This is a long message, so I'm just going to click on it and read it because, they put a bit of time into it. He knows the drama that follows him around. Oh, sorry, Brooklyn Pesola. Or Pesla, I don't know. He knows the drama that follows him around is the only reason he has a crowd every AM. Thanks, Robbie. Him being a dick redirects attention to his stream. Some people will tune in to see if he's really such an asshole. Yeah, it's probably not a bad point. Maybe he's playing us all. What do we got here? Stephen. I'm just going to call you Stephen. He said he brought Dean to heel like a good boy. Delusional. Yeah, I think that's just because of the DM. He's taken that as me going, "Oh, you beat me. You won. You got me." Whereas I didn't look at any of that like wins or losses. You know what I mean? Like, I don't look at life like that as a win or like. In the end, it was a win because
it was an opportunity. It was an opportunity.
150 subscribers later, and fucking a bump in audience, people all talking about it, my name going out there. Like, I'm sorry, it was a win for me. But like in terms of winning the argument, I don't give a shit. Like, it reminds me of Billy Connolly was my favorite comedian growing up, and he used to talk about fighting in the Scottish pubs, and they talk about giving him the old 1-3, and they're like, "Don't you mean the 1-2?" And he's like, "No, you're eating the second one." You know what I mean? So I was like, 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? And like, that's how I see like stoushing on the internet, whether it's like on Twitter going back and forth with someone or on a podcast or whatever. It's just like you're just throwing barbs at each other, and yeah, some of them are going to be good digs at you. So, you're going to get some good digs back. But, like, who gives a shit who wins and loses? Like, if some people got some laughs, got some entertainment out of it, that's fucking great. That's cool. I'm glad people got some fucking laughs out of this week, and it's been a good time. And I don't know, boys. Do we quickly? Sorry, that's the end of the steel toe stuff, everyone. Thanks for that. Do we quickly want to rip through the NFC because we did the AFC back a couple of weeks ago? Do we want to quickly rip through those divisions and get those down on paper?
That didn't sound very enthusiastic there, Robbie.
Yeah, Robbie doesn't seem keen. We can wrap it up, Robbie. That's fine.
No, if you guys want to, yeah.
Bone CK, wins and losses are all fantasy either way. Correct.
Very true.
You want to just do our Super Bowl picks? Because, it's already been 2 weeks, so...
Well, let's quickly do it. Like, we'll just give a division winner, not deep analysis, just AFC East. I'll give it to the Eagles. I think the Cowboys can get a wild card, but I'm not holding expectations for the Cowboys. They continue to annoy me, but I'm sure they'll win enough games to make the playoffs.
I think the Cowboys will win that division. I think that the Eagles are teetering on like an organizational collapse. Last week was. They don't seem to like their coach. Jalen Hurts is the de facto coach, it seems like. And I don't think he's good enough to be a de facto coach as a player. I think, the last year they almost collapsed. They fired every coach just about except their head coach. So, I could see that going off the train, the wheels coming off the track, and that team being a lot worse than everyone thinks. So, no, I got the Cowboys.
The comments are too small on your screen, aren't they?
Yeah.
Can you read that?
Said, "What's the matter, FML? You hungry pig?"
Oh, yeah. No, I see that now. It's my laptop is not working correctly, so that's why I said F my life.
Yeah.
Also,
bet
it's
you're
a
all
lot
set.
easier to type on a phone FML than Robbie the Mariners fan.
That's true. That is true. Josh, who got the NFC East?
Like you said, I don't have a lot of faith in our boys, but I am taking the Cowboys, take the division. Eagles, like Robbie's saying, they're going on the downslide.
For all the people shitting on the this is going to be embarrassing. The Falcons division that's the AFC South, right?
NFC South, yeah.
NFC South, they're with the
No.
Saints.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever division that is, everyone was saying that's like by far the worst division. I think
It's not
that
looking like it.
division is looking a hell of a lot better than the
Yeah.
AFC. Yeah.
Well,
'Cause the
let's go to
Saints
the.
look- It's 2 weeks, but the Saints look legit. Baker Mayfield's first 2 weeks playing like a fucking MVP. The Falcons are going to be as long as Kirk's Achilles holds up, will be decent. So yeah, it's just funny because everyone assumes like if you go 9-8, you'll win the South, but I don't think that's the case anymore.
The NFC South is a toss-up.
Yeah. Well, let's go to the South, Robbie. Who you got?
The AFC South.
NFC. It's all
we
NFC.
we did the AFC a couple of weeks ago. We're doing the
that's why I was
NFC.
confused.
Just
You
all
gotta
NFC.
understand, with my ADHD in the mornings, once I hit the 1 hour mark, my brain starts to go in a million different directions. So I'll go Falcons.
Giving it the Falcons. All right.
Yeah, because I think they're
You expect how many wild cards you expected coming out of it? I think there's a chance. The way
I don't
everyone's
buy
playing
the
right now, that
Saints. So I'll say, but I do buy the Buccaneers. I think Baker Mayfield, when he plays with confidence, is a slightly above average QB, which is good enough because they've got okay run game. But Chris Godwin's playing like he was prior to his ACL tear. Mike Evans he could be 40 and still be an elite red zone threat.
Mike Evans.
Their offensive line's pretty good. Their defense worries me though, because the defense has never been great against like the run in the past, but they were okay because they have that Vita Vea. But he's injured, and without Vita Vea, people are just running it right up their fucking throat.
I love that Robbie wasn't overly keen for this. And I said, we'll just do quick picks. We won't do deep analysis. And he's fucking.
I'm sorry.
He's breaking
Jesus
it down.
Christ.
He's breaking it down.
FML,
sorry,
what's your ADHD medication? Is it fried chicken and gravy?
It's both fried chicken and gravy and about 8 different prescriptions. So
I'll go next. I'll go with Tampa. I'll give Tampa that division. Again, Mike Evans is a beast. Godwin is phenomenal, and like you say, Baker has found himself in the NFL. He's not a superstar quarterback, but he'll get the job done. He'll do enough. He'll make the right decisions. He's learned how to do that. So yeah, I'll give it to Tampa, and I think we can get a wild card out of this. I'll give it to the Falcons. You never know; they might get 2 wild cards. New Orleans might get the other one as well. But yeah, I'll go Tampa and Falcons, both making the playoffs, which leaves 1 wild card over 2 divisions. Josh.
For shock value only, I would say the Panthers because Andy Dalton is about to take the reins of that fucking juggernaut. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you actually think that, put
No,
like
no,
$10 down on the Panthers to win the division and come away with like a million.
I would say Derek Carr looks like he's had a tune-up this season.
11th year bump.
Yeah, not a Ricada bump, but I'm gonna say Saints. I like the Saints right now, but maybe that's more because Kamara, not so much of Derek Carr.
True.
But I do think there's another wild card coming out of there. I can see Tampa Bay. I really don't like Baker, but he is playing pretty good.
Yeah.
The thing about Kamara, like he just keeps keeping on. Like he's been around a while now.
Washed last year.
Yeah,
And
I know. I agree.
He looked like a beast against Dallas.
With running backs, once they show a hint of washed, they never like rebound. It's not like in baseball where a guy will have a terrible season at 32 and then he'll like have a dead cat bounce and have one more good year. When running backs start to show signs of age, they're going down a cliff real fucking quick. The fact he's like rebounded for the first 2 weeks is both shocking and also slightly sus. Like you don't like, can he pull this off for an entire year? Because they don't have good running back depth after him.
What I will say, like about them, and yeah, I'm not convinced yet. I need to see a bit more, especially because Cowboys did this week 2 last year with Arizona, and Arizona smacked the Cowboys, and everyone was like, "Oh, look at Arizona!" And like, what was Arizona last year? They went shit. So that's why I'm not buying New Orleans just yet. But yeah, they've put up a fucking ton of points in the first 2 weeks. So
And they have
yeah.
Rashid Shaheed might be the most underrated wide receiver in the entire NFL. He catches like 3 passes a game, but they're all for like 40 yards or more. Like he's
Right.
an elite deep threat.
3 catches, 142 yards for the day. That's usually probably what
Well,
the
that's
line
the thing with the Falcons. I mean, with the Saints, even when they had Michael Thomas, that was their entire offense was a 8-yard slant route. Now they actually have explosive players. So
You know, that was Randy Moss's line back in the day. 3 catches, 150 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Bones CK, Mike Evans is almost a modern day Tony Gonzalez.
yeah, he is for a wide receiver. He's about as close as a tight end you can get. So
That's what I was going to say. It's almost better in the fact that yeah, he's a receiver. That's speed, but he's such a big body.
he's
and
what the
target.
Falcons thought
Yeah.
they would have with Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. No, I've always since his rookie year, I've been a huge fucking Mike Evans fan. Yeah,
Do you know the Falcons drafted Kyle Pitts ahead of fucking Jamar Chase, for Christ's sake?
Oh shit!
That's something that doesn't get talked about enough, which I'm happy about. Like if people talked about that in TV shows, I would stop watching TV. But I feel I believe in truth in broadcasting, and yeah, that's true.
CB experiment is fast becoming my favorite chatter. I think FML could rush for 300 yards in any NFL game if he was promised a Crispin ham. After
My
doing
dad
so.
makes an elite Christmas ham, so that might not be wrong.
That's very good. All right, we better keep rushing through these divisions.
True.
Pardon the pun. So
we've done the South.
We've done the South. So let's go west. What do we got? We got the Rams, Seahawks, Niners, and who's those other cunts?
Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Arizona's out.
Arms.
Arizona's out. I think the Niners win that division. Oh, you're giving me the side eye over calling Arizona out. You think
I
Arizona
don't like
can win this
Kyler Murray,
division?
but they look decent against the Falcons, and last week they looked real good.
Kyler Murray
right
will
now
break
they're the
that.
healthiest team besides the Seahawks. George Kittle's injured and out this week too for the 49ers, so they're down Debo for multiple weeks. They're down Christian McCaffrey for maybe the entire year.
That's a good point. It actually, yeah, you're right. I was going with chalk, to be honest. I hadn't thought about because as soon as I said it, I went, "Oh, McCaffrey's out."
You know who's going to earn their
put-
money now? Brandon Ayuk, because
Ayuk.
like he's now
yeah,
their
yeah.
only like
Yeah, the only target.
for Christ's sake, Juan Jennings is their number 2 wide receiver, and he was their number 4 to start the year. Brock Purdy also, if he can get this team to the playoff and look like he did in previous years with what he has now, he will earn every bit of a max extension. So
Yeah, you know what, fucker, you've convinced me. No, I'm not picking the Niners. I'll pick the Seahawks to win the division.
yeah, they have 2 great running backs, and Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. And one is always injured, but that's not a problem when you have the other one healthy. DK Metcalf is it's a weird. He's a really good wide receiver, like probably top 15, but people always think he's a top 5. But think of it, he's top 15. Tyler Lockett's still a good slot receiver, and Jackson Smith and Jigba looks like he's got that second year, like, okay, I know what I'm doing now. He could be a top 10 wide receiver too. So they have 3 good receivers, a decent offensive line, 2 running backs, and they just always seem to know how to play defense no matter who's their coach. So yeah, I think the Seahawks, they're not a great team, but I honestly think 10-7 was going to win that division, and they're the best bet to go 10-7 right now.
And look, we just don't know with the Niners what they can pull together. But that is a
Purdy. I've always had a soft spot for him, even back in college. But it's going to be interesting to see without all of his weapons if he's going to actually be a legit NFL QB.
No, I agree. But yeah, so the injuries are stacking up. If they can battle through it, look, they're a very good team if it all comes together. So there's no doubt they'll be in the play. Yeah, cool. Can I finish a thought before you jump in?
I'm sorry.
No, yeah, they're definitely a playoff team if it comes together for them. There's no doubt about that with the Niners. So I'll give them a wild card spot at the moment, just because we don't know. But we do still have one more division. So when I get to that division, maybe I take that wild card spot away. But Josh, what's your thoughts?
Robbie's side eye to you has actually kind of changed my mind as well. Thinking about it, the Niners have injury problems. The Rams have injury problems. So now I'm breaking it down to Seattle and fucking Arizona. I can't go with fucking alligator arms. So yes, I would lean towards Seattle at this point, but give the wild card to the Niners.
Yeah. What did you say, Robbie? Did you go the Seahawks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Geno Smith is like alligator arms light. Like, it's hard to trust Geno, but he's gotten to the playoffs before. As long as he doesn't turn the ball over, that's a good enough team to go 10-7.
I think Geno's got to the point now, like he's been around long enough where he understands the right decisions, and he understands his limitations. He's not gonna try shit that he can't do. He's not going to turn the ball over unnecessarily. Yeah,
that he's even turned himself into a league average QB. God, he looked like Zach Wilson when he played with the Jets.
He is the one guy who said, "Go let Russ cook somewhere else."
Yeah, I know.
Go cook.
Yeah.
Go cook, motherfucker.
All right, let's go north. This is shaping up as a very interesting division. This one feels like A, very wide open, but B, a little bit similar to the South, where you can make a case for every team at the moment, the way things are being played. Josh, I'll go to you first on this one.
Like you said, this one's kind of a toss-up. I have no favorites in the North. If I'm going to have to go out on a limb here quickly, I will go Vikings.
Going with the Vikings. Do you see a wild card out of here?
Possibly. I'm not giving it to nobody. I mean, okay, Lions.
Detroit.
Lions.
Yeah. I'll go next. So yeah, I am going to remove a wild card from other division. I don't know which wild card I'm going to remove, but no, I do think there's a couple of teams that can come out of here, and I got to stick with the Lions. They were great last year, and I know they faltered this week, but I think they're a good team, and I think they can win that division. But look, the Vikings have started well. I don't know if they can maintain it. It's a long season. I don't see them hanging on. Chicago will just have teething problems. Caleb Daniels got a lot of work to do. I think he's a good quarterback and he'll make his way, but it's going to be tough for him. So yeah, I'll give Lions the division, but I think the Packers can definitely get a wild card out of that division. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll take the Niners out just based on injuries. I'm going to say that the Niners don't make the playoffs. Robbie.
I got the Lions. They're just a good team all around. Packers are one of those teams where, I mean, they even won a game last week with Malik Willis. They're one of those teams that has such an organizational structure. It doesn't matter who they put at QB for a couple of weeks. They just know how to win. So even if Jordan Love, which apparently he might play this week, I highly doubt it. MCL sprain, 2 weeks, bullshit. But even if he doesn't play for another 2 weeks, they can tread water and he'll come back. They have like 4 legit wide receivers that would start on any other team as a number 2 receiver. They have Aaron Jones now. Not Aaron Jones. They have do they have it? No. They have Josh Jacobs now, who's perfect for that offense. He's
going to run the ball 40 fucking times this week.
I know.
That's what's coming.
And their defense is good. They just know what to do to win. So it's a coin flip between who wins the division between the Lions and the Packers. I'll go Lions, but I think the Packers definitely get a wild card.
Very nice. We've got a couple of chats. CK.
Yeah, I have no faith in Sam Darnold. If he does it, that'd be a cool story. But like, I would be just as surprised they made the playoffs as if they just won one more game and went like 3-13 the rest of the year.
Yeah. Bones CK, Geno Smith was almost out of the league a couple of years ago. It's wild. It is. Yeah. No, he's done well. Credit to him, man, to keep battling. learn the game more, study
Yeah.
film, all of that. Sit as a
He wasn't
backup
even
for a
all
while.
that great in college either. He was one of those guys.
No.
Well, he'll be good in the pros, but like he was never all that awesome at West Virginia either. So
Yeah. CB experiment going for the Vikings. Another win for the two.
Well, wouldn't it make sense if the Vikings have such a great season with Sam Darnold and then fucking
Can you imagine
Aaron
if
gets
he's in-
fucking goes to
Yeah.
jail in December before they go on like a run or
oh
something?
god,
and
I will start rooting for the Vikings if there's a chance he could miss the playoffs.
Wouldn't it be even better because the hearing's on December 11? Maybe they would hold out sentencing till after Christmas, let him have Christmas with the family. Imagine he's in jail and while the Vikings go on a Super Bowl run. That would
Let's
be
go
phenomenal.
Vikings!
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh, another win for the toe. Come on.
I remember Charlie in San Antonio telling a story, and I'm not going to laugh at this, but he told the story when the Spurs beat the Heat for the championship. Charlie was in jail, and
What? I don't remember this.
he was in jail, and he spoke to his dad on the phone, and they were just so happy, and his dad
That's
said,
awful.
"Oh, you know." Yeah, and his dad said, "We'll watch the next one together," and then his dad died. So,
Oh shit!
yeah.
No, they haven't been to one since they beat the Heat.
No, that's true.
Well,
Actually,
now I thought that was
Yeah.
hilarious. Never
yeah.
mind.
Well, it was. Yeah, no,
That's a good turn.
it was really funny until the end part. Yeah.
Everyone's
But
like,
thank you
"Oh,
Yeah, good story.
But thanks for sharing your story on the show, Charlie. That was back when it was Malatown, of course.
Yeah.
Bone CK Bears will figure it out with Williams. All right,
Not
you've
this
got
year.
faith. Are you a Chicago guy there, Bone CK? Bears defense is pretty deadly right now. They've had a good defense for a while, to be honest. The Bears, they
that's
do
true.
seem
That's
to
true."
keep rocking up.
And they
with
got a good
defenses
special
and-
teams for what that worth. They drafted the
Yeah.
Iowa punter in the third round, and he's looked good for
Well,
what.
I'm still shocked that fact was brought up this week. I think he said Ben Maller said no quarterback for Chicago has ever thrown for 4,000 yards.
Yeah, it's
or,
true.
or
It's
30
crazy.
touchdowns. Like,
Yeah.
seriously?
Yeah, well, because back the 85 Bears,
Well, not
Yeah.
Jim McMahon.
yeah, Jim McMahon, he threw the ball 30 times for the season or something. You know what I mean? Like,
You're right. There's a Walter Payton fucking base.
yeah. CB experiment. Geno Smith. I thought Derek Carr had been dead for years. This is the year of the comeback. Yeah, look, it's a good year. But let's be fair. Last year, DeMar Hamlin couldn't win it after coming back from the dead. So yeah, comeback player of the year
Comeback
is
player of
a
the year.
tough
He's
one.
starting for the Bills right now. It's wild.
I know. Yeah. And he it's very funny. His chest is what took out Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah,
which
that
is-
was
Funny, yeah. It is quite the
dead men
circle
walking.
of life situation. It reminds me of
yeah.
when Chris Weidman leg checked Anderson Silva, and Anderson Silva's leg wrapped all the way around his, and the second most gruesome injury in UFC history. You know what was the most gruesome? When Chris Weidman's leg got checked 5 years later, and his leg wrapped all the way around the other dude's leg. It's just wild how that happens.
Yeah, I called it. Yep, Chicago born Bones CK again. Sorry. Yep, Chicago born and raised. Bears will go 7-10 this year, and then hopefully be a wild card.
That would
team
be a
next
good
year.
year for them if they go 7.
That's not a bad thought.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that, Bone CK. And even if you went, 5-12 or whatever, but things built in the second half of the year to where you're like, oh no, it's all coming together. Caleb's starting to figure it out. All that. Yeah, I think you could definitely look for a wild card next year. CB experiment. He's the best player for the Bills right now.
You can make a case that's true because he took out the number one contender against the Bills. So
yeah.
So,
Look,
bye-bye, Dolphins.
he's their
Josh
hitman.
Josh Allen's looking spectacular at the moment.
If Josh Allen is even a top 10 QB statistically this year with the wide receivers he has, he better win the fucking MVP.
They turned Tua into Flipper. I mean, he's pretty much toast.
Yeah, he was my starting quarterback, so that was great news. I picked up Deshaun Watson off the waiver wire this week, and they're playing
the sausage king.
They're playing the Giants. I thought, well, he might score against the Giants.
I thought I was fucked when Lawrence started shitting the bed, but I got Baker Mayfield, so let's all pray Baker keeps this up, or my team.
I'm not even talking fantasy. I changed my
material.
team's name to fucked. So you can tell what my lineup is.
I don't know what this means, CB experiment, but we'll give our plugs out soon. You can hit us up on Twitter or something. But you got to get mixed up with the TTC, the trash talking community. Yeah, for sure. I love trash talk. Yeah, for sure. All right, that'll do it. We've given
we
out.
got Super Bowl picks, and then we can go.
All right, let's quickly go through. Yeah. All right. All right. Who's coming out of the AFC? Robbie, I think I know who you're gonna say.
Oh, Bills, of course.
Yeah. Josh, who's coming out of the AFC?
Fucking Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the Bills too, Robbie. I think it's Josh Allen's year. I do.
Yeah.
So I'll go the Bills. NFC. Fuck. NFC's like kind of blown wide open given the 49ers injuries. Like I would have them a dead favorite if everyone was fit and healthy. Now I don't know what way to go, but out of the division winners I picked, I got to go the Lions. I have to go the Lions, which means I got to pick the Bills to win the Super Bowl. Josh, what about you?
This is getting bad already. I want to say Vikings, but just for the hell of it, but no. Yeah, the Niners with the injuries, I have to go with the Lions. Lions are probably set for the best run here out of the NFC.
Robbie?
My head says Lions, but if Jordan Love comes back healthy, they could be that team that's like 500 through half the year and then really takes off. So you both had Lions
for the NFC.
Yeah, just to be contrarian and because I think there's a legit chance, I'll do Bills Packers. I think it'd be fun to see the Packers be in the Super Bowl again as well.
All right, of course you got the Bills winning it.
I mean, no shit.
Yeah. And what about you, Josh? Yeah. Are you giving a three-peat to the Chiefs?
Chiefs. Since I'm Chiefs Lions here, I will go Chiefs.
It would be crazy if they made the Super Bowl and then lost and didn't get the.
The NFL's about to put Patrick Mahomes on that pedestal. He's going to be even greater than Brady.
All right, and quickly, fellas.
If I can just say one last thing and then I'll shut up. If it can't be the Bills, I honestly do want it to be the Chiefs, just so we can really get that Brady isn't the best QB anymore discourse going. So
yeah. Well, look, Patrick Mahomes is pretty much where Brady was at the same time of his career. He's won 3 and 4 years. He's done a back-to-back. And Brady, I think, was going for 3 in a row when he lost that perfect season.
Maybe? I can't remember. Or was it like 4 and 6 years or something? I don't know.
Yeah, it might have been 4 and 6. But yeah, anyway, Patrick Mahomes is right where Brady was. He's right in that pocket. And I think Mahomes is better than Brady was at the same time. So, yeah, there's definitely a chance that Mahomes eclipses Brady. But at the same time, you got Josh Allen. Look, Justin Herbert's looking pretty good this year.
He's injured.
He's injured, is he? Fuck.
Yeah, he's out this week with a high ankle sprain. And those fucking things linger.
Let's hit a couple of comments, then we'll hit the... actually, just before that, quick one, fellas. The Australian Rules Football Grand Final is next weekend. The two teams have decided it. I'm going to be on... actually, speak. No, I'll do that in the plugs. So Sydney Swans are taking on the Brisbane Lions. Who you got, Josh?
I have no clue on this one. Okay.
You guys have got no clue. I'll give analysis of what I know, and then you guys can think about it while I talk about it. So Sydney has been the best team all year, basically top of the table all year, best record a year. They got they stumbled a bit late in the season, but still finished top of the league and have made their way through. Brisbane were in the grand final last year, but lost. They fought their way back. They're a very streaky team when they're playing good footy. Yes, that's what we say, footy over here. Anyway, when they're playing well, I think they're the best team in the league. They've had a slightly tougher run to get there, but I just think this team is ready to win it. I just think when they have it all going their way, they are the best team in the league. I'm going with the Brisbane Lions.
I like streaky, and the way you just put that and kind of built it all up. Brisbane.
Yeah.
Swans is a lame team name. I'm going Lions.
All right, we're all locked in on the Lions. All right, let's wrap it up. Oh no, that's right. I was going to hit a couple of chats just before we go. Fuck it, it's hard for me to read these days. Jubon's knife flicks. Bay, I assume you meant hey. It's the dirty rat. Fuck yes, it is indeed. Another win for the toe. Thank you. What do we got here? Jay Darklighter. Hey. I discovered you on the recent Aaron Imholt thing. You're a legend, Aussie guy. I'm a Kiwi living in Perth. You remind me so much of my Aussie mates. You're a legend, cunt. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. I'll give the plugs. Hit me up on Twitter. If you're in Perth, maybe we can have a beer sometime. All right, just Josh, hit us with your plugs.
You can find me here at NJHunt02 on X, or you can find me on the PlayStation at J311 down.
Very good. Robbie.
You can find us at, let's see if I can. Our Twitter name's so bad, I don't know if I can remember it without looking at it. AUS of USA Pod.
Other way around.
USA of AUS Pod.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, well, close enough.
Yeah.
On Twitter or X, and then you can find me, my personal page at Mariner Robbie on X, and that's about it.
Excellent. Thank you very much. All right, programming note. Yeah, I'm going off on vacation tomorrow, and we're going for over a week. So there will be no show next week. We'll be back in October. The first weekend of October, we'll be back. So, yeah, enjoy the week off. I mean, I won't rule it out. I am taking my laptop on the journey, and yeah, I'll talk to these guys. If I can fit a show in at some point, maybe we'll do it. But I'm going to say that we're off next week. Yeah, outside of that, thank you, everybody that's been subscribing. Everyone that's here, hit the like button.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you to all the new subscribers and the people who've been jumping on. We really do appreciate all of it. Thank you to Sketty Tooth John. Genuinely, that's fucking awesome. Given the donation today. And if you're watching later, let's not forget, do you want to drive Aaron Imholt insane? It's very simple. Just give me money. PayPal.com. PayPal.me/sussyguy. Thank you very much. We got beloved chatters here. Love me some beloved chatter. The toe will turn any W into an L. That is true. And we'll close out with Sketty Tooth John. Great show. Thanks to you, Sketty Tooth. You got me all pumped up and happy by giving a great donation. But no, thanks everyone for joining us. We appreciate it. On X, I am Jesus, Robbie.
I'm sorry.
On X, I am at that sussy guy. Just imagine that Aussie guy and put an S where the A should be. We'll catch you next time on United States of Australia.
I wonder if P. Diddy would say J-Lo gives